you feeling overwhelmed by life challenges? It's time to build resilience and overcome adversities. Resilient people don't diminish the negatives, but they always find a way to tune into the good. It's very critical not to lose what you have to what you have lost. But one way to help you in dealing with this is showing gratitude at all times. This is not just from the spiritual perspective, but also from the psychological perspective. Talking about benefit finding in everything that you see or you experience that has to do with life adversities and challenging experiences, you would always find and seek for the positive effects it has, be it a traumatic event or illness or even natural disaster. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Habiba. I am a registered mental health and substance use nurse. My major is in global mental health, and I am here creating this platform majorly to promote mental health and well-being across the globe. Welcome, it's PMH by Abby. Thank you all for tuning in. If it's your first time here, I will say welcome to the community here, and as this episode as always promises to be informative. And today's episode we're talking about building resilience and overcoming life challenges. Let's get into it. In today's fast-paced world, resilience is a crucial skill to have. If you are looking for practical tips and strategies to help you in developing resilience, whether you are faced with adversities and you want to help yourself to develop a positive mindset, a growth mindset, or even when you're experiencing professional setbacks, personal setbacks, or you just want to help yourself to develop mental strength and strengthen your support networks, then you are in the right place. This video is for you. Fair enough, I would say I have been resilient since I was 1.5 years old up until now. And so my practical example of being resilient over the years is a huge impact on delivering this topic so well, backed up with theoretical findings. So I've lost my mom since I was 1.5 years old. And right now I'm a mom of 3. I mean, incidentally, this is the month my mom passed away, March. And may her gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. So my point is, when I look at my 3 kids now, I always wonder, how on earth did we survive? The 3 of us were under the age of 5, mind you. The 3 of us were girls. So my dad was left to raise 3 kids under the age of 5. Tell me, how did he do it? And he did this for almost 20 years, raising us as a single parent. So I would say I learned so many resilience from him, and I also want to believe I grew up with that over time. Because we all know raising a child up is totally different when the biological mother raises that child. Just so you know, I had a very supportive family, by the way, and thank you so much, family members. Thank you so much, friends and professional colleagues of my dad. He told me so much about you. Thank you all. You all are so wonderful. So let's get into it. Life adversities has no respect, and it does not discriminate. If you're watching this video now, I can be sure that you must have experienced one life adversity or the other. I mean, one of you must have been a victim of infidelity or an acrimonious divorce. One of you must have experienced one level of stigma or the other, probably due to mental illness or physical impairments or disabilities. One of you might have been a victim of circumstances like rape, disaster, natural disaster. Some people must have been bullied one way or the other. Some people must have been treated with redundancy. Some people must have experienced infertility issues. Some people must have experienced domestic violence. Some people must have experienced grievous crime issues that you don't want to even talk about here. Some people must have also experienced the need to take care of a loved one who was terminally ill, or who was suffering for mental illness, or who was suffering for physical terminal illnesses. Some people might have been dealing with miscarriages, abortions, name it. One way or the other, we have been faced with life adversities. That's why I said it has no respect for anyone. The difference between you and the other person who is resilient is your attitude towards that adversity. How you want to react and how you want to respond will determine your outcome. It will determine how far you're going to go on another level. It's going to determine many things about your life. Because most times when we are able to be resilient over one thing, we're able to grow into the other next one. And that helps us to we keep having that growth mindset and moving on and on and on. It's a practical thing. Very basic, but practical. It's learnable. It's something you can learn over time. It's something you can cultivate. It's something you can always build upon. And you get stronger and stronger as you keep overcoming one. My key one is cultivating a positive mindset. Focus on what you can control and find solutions around it rather than dwelling on the problems, bearing in mind that you're not meant to diminish the negatives. I would say always be prepared. I think that's always lived with me over time because so it's a function of understanding this is what it is, but I want to develop that attitude to stay positive in every situation, irrespective of what comes out of it. And there's that thing behind the back of my mind that what if it turns the other side? I have to be prepared. That's it. It's as basic as that. So the next one on my list is creating daily great habits, which is around self-care and social support. I'll explain that. There is this critical thing about life adversities. It comes like boom, sometimes like you're not prepared and it just comes. But as we're wired, it's a function of preparing for the worst. Like, okay, I never expected this, but okay, I just have to deal with it. Sometimes we would cry, sometimes we would be bitter, sometimes we would be angry, sometimes, but irrespective of whatever situation we find ourselves, we have, as human beings, it happens, but just try as much as you can to understand that you need to do self-care to keep your head safe from further harm, right? We want to promote our mental health. So whatever affects the physical affects the mental. Don't forget to eat well, sleep well, exercise, surround yourself by people who love you or who care about you or who can support you. My dad stood by family members who were able to support him over time. I, growing up, aside from my family members, also formed a great support system around my friendships. I was very intentional about my friends, and still I am. So ensure that you are having quality time with quality people. Develop a strong support network, not just for adversity's sake, but for normal days. Don't wait till trouble comes or something happens, you know? So always try as much as possible to make this a habit on a daily basis. Like okay, I will give you an example. In the last couple of days, I have not been feeling too well, in fairness. That's why I didn't drop a video last week. I had the sore throat, cough, all of this URTI, upper respiratory tract infection things, and taking medication was not so okay because I was trying to fast. I mean, we're in the Ramadan season, so for me it's like a struggle. Like, it delayed the healing process. Now it's better. That's why I can do this video, right? So because my voice was so husky, terrible, like it wasn't good at all. And unfortunately, my son also had cough, so I needed that self-care. So I took a break. Don't joke with your self-care. Don't joke with your health. I mean, if I'm not well enough, you're not gonna get a good video today. If I didn't take time to take a break and take care of my physical health, you're not going to be getting great contents. So as much as I value my audience, I think it's important to also value your health very well. Because what comes from the inside, if it's good, you get that good result from the outside as well. So apparently what I'm saying here is focus on your health, physical and mental. Engage in things you love to do. Surround yourself with people who care about you, and ensure that you give quality time to those people who support you, so that when that time comes when you need them during adversities, they will be there for you. But that being said, don't trust people too much. Some people don't reciprocate those care. And that also tells me you can refer back to one of my videos, my past videos on social support. I'll post it on the link below. And that's just how to help you understand the value of social support, because they're always needed during times of adversities. You can rise up from adversities. Research indicates that it is possible for you to be able to think and act in certain ways that would help you to be able to navigate through tough times. So it's the willingness to be able to adopt this. So my next on my list is acceptance. Trying to make the best in what seems like the worst. I mean, you have to be flexible. You have to be open-minded. You should be open to new ideas. Resilient people are great in managing and choosing carefully what they see or what they want to focus their attention towards. They would focus on that thing that they know they have control over and guide it jealously. But for that one that they cannot control or they have no control over, they regard it as acceptance. Acceptance is very, very critical in helping us to be able to have self-regulation, in helping us to be able to cope with that life adversity. Probably, whatever that thing is for you to have acceptance with will need you to develop some coping skills. And that's why in the previous step, I talked about self-care. So when you're having those things handy, that which is what you have now accepted, for example, grief, when you have a loss, you definitely need to help yourself live with that loss, because it is a love that has no place to go, unfortunately. But how do you manage that kind of loss, or that kind of thing that you have lost, or that kind of thing that has become your acceptance because you cannot change it? The only thing you can do is what is within your control, which is developing some coping skills to be able to manage that adversity or circumstances that is challenging. It is also very critical for you to understand that tough times are part of human existence. As an individual, when you understand the meaning of acceptance, you're able to recognize and accept that life adversities, tough times, tough things happen to everybody, not just you. It helps you understand that mindset, that it's not being a concept of discrimination. Rather, it is just what that situation is. It is a function of what you are experiencing in the moment, which can actually be resolved based on your choices. So whatever you want to think about, or however way you want to react it, will determine the outcome. Because whatever has happened to you has happened to somebody else most of the time. So the next on my list is making healthy choices. It is very critical to be able to evaluate what is best for you. Try and evaluate, is this going to be helpful for me or harmful for me? For me, I do that a lot. I don't care who you are. I don't care what organization it is. If it's not serving me well, I quit. Oh yes, I've had my share of experiences, and I do it unapologetically. I'm sure someone will be like, what's Abby saying? But that's my reality. If it's not serving me, I don't have to be there. It means how much I prioritize my self-care That's how much I prioritize my mental health and my physical health. There's nothing as great as prevention. My dad actually was in the health field, so I knew that early enough that prevention is better than cure. Aside from the fact that I'm a healthcare provider, I also know that. I would say it's very important to be kind to yourself. It's only when you're kind to yourself, it's only when you're conscious and self-aware that this is what I want. The importance of being kind to yourself and being compassionate to yourself is what this signifies. So weigh the options. These can come in different categories. It could be in your family, if you're living with a husband who is a multi-billionaire, but then you're in a toxic relationship where you're not happy. Life is about choices. Choose what you want, choose your battles. If you're in a work environment where you feel, oh my goodness, this is the most well-known organization, but then you don't find fulfillment in what you're doing there, or you don't feel valued, or you don't feel, or something is just not right, and you understand that clearly that it's not helping you, why do you want to hurt yourself to stay there? You have to choose in between what is harmful or what is helpful, and choose wisely. Resilient people always think about that deeply, because there's so much to accomplish ahead than being stuck there. So the willingness to give these processes a go is all you need in building your resilience. And the last on my list is not losing yourself to what you have lost. This is a big one. I want to use a very sensitive example, which is grief. So being gentle with yourself, having great support will help you. But I know it's a very sensitive one, like I said. With grief, it warrants more support. Various life adversities will shape your growth, especially with grief. But one thing I would say is ensure you have support around you in that context. And if it's any other thing, support. I can't overemphasize on that. I'll leave the link below on how best to navigate your support systems or your support network. My resilience journey has been so wonderful. I've had setbacks, stuffs, but these are the things I worked with in my growth. It helped my growth mindset. To say resilience is a magic superpower. It is amazing. It is a habit forming skill. The more goals you accomplish, the more resilient you become. It can be learned, taught, and cultivated over time. Resilience is a journey that begins early in life till you're old, probably. As long as you don't give up. Keep working on yourself. The distance between where you are now and where you want to be is action. Change your perspectives, opportunities when there are obstacles. It allows you to focus on the positive. How we react can change our outcomes. Always find a sense of purpose. Seeing how my father navigated fatherhood and life challenges influenced me as well. So I hope this video is going to influence somebody out there. Summarily, what I have just told you all is just those key tips on how best to build resilience. And these tips are: number 1, developing a positive mindset. Number 2, creating daily great habits around self-care and building up a support network. Thanks. And the third part is acceptance, knowing that tough times is part of human existence. Number 4 is making healthy choices. And my number 5 is not losing yourself to what you have lost. I hope this video helps somebody out there. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And one more thing, do you relate with any of these things, or do you have any tips on building resilience? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you all for the time you've spent with me. It's great having to share this with you, and I hope someone finds this helpful. I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you and bye for now.